Hello, dear friends. This is Sondra Oster Baras from Christian Friends of Israeli Communities, and I wanted to bring you a current update and share with you of ways that you can work with us and help with the needs that are needed most today in Israel, and particularly in Judea and Samaria. We are now in a situation since Saturday when we were brutally attacked in the south. Whole communities were taken over by Hamas. The IDF now has control over the southern part of Israel, but still they are fighting with terrorists every day. Terrorists are popping up and they're killing them, but they are also there are soldiers who continue to be wounded and injured in these clashes. And this is before they've even started a ground offensive into Gaza, which is anticipated to begin sometime in the next few days. The atrocities that have come to light over the last few days, whole families butchered, women raped, children killed, tortured before they were killed, beheaded. These are horrific descriptions that we are hearing as the IDF is going in, as survivors who were witness to these terrible terror events are starting to talk. The picture is extremely desperate. One thing, though, that I must say, the entire country is unified in a way we have not seen in a long time, unified, determined. The spirit of volunteerism is so strong. Everybody is doing whatever they can. People are risking their lives to go in and help take families out of the danger zones. People are donating clothes and money and food, are opening their homes to families who have lost their homes. The hotels in the Dead Sea area and in Eilat have opened their hotels to absorb these families who have lost everything, including many of their loved ones. There is quite a delay in the identification of the bodies. There are still hundreds of bodies who have not been identified. Families don't know if their loved ones are dead or alive. They don't know which ones, how many, who have been captured and taken to Gaza. So the entire situation, on the one hand, is a very difficult one. It's tragic. It's sad. It's very tense right now. On top of that, almost 350,000 reserve soldiers were called up in the last few days. This has affected my family as well. I have two sons and a son-in-law who have been drafted. I have a house full of grandchildren because my daughters-in-law have moved in with their kids. One daughter-in-law is also splitting her time with her parents. My other daughter-in-law, her family is in the United States, so they're here, and we are all pitching in to try to help them. The kids' schools are out, so that is another issue, albeit a lesser issue than some of these families who have lost everything. But there isn't a family in the country that isn't affected by this either, because family members have been called up. We're concerned about that. We have friends who've already lost people, children, grandchildren, in the fighting as soldiers. So it is a very difficult time. It's a time of great sorrow, but it is also a time where we have to take stock of where we are and see what can be done to make sure those kind of horrific attacks against Israel and against vulnerable communities don't happen again. I am here in Samaria. I am in an area surrounded by Palestinians. Right next door to where I live, there's this village called Azun, which is known to be a hotbed of Hamas terrorism. Not far from me on the other side is the city of Shechem, where there have already been gun battles between the IDF and Hamas and other similar terrorist groups all throughout the summer. The IDF has some of the reservists that it has called up is for this area. First of all, to replace the rapid responders in our communities who have been called up to their regular reserve units, but also to have extra watch and guarding against terrorist activity that can come at any moment here in Judea and Samaria. From our perspective at Christian Friends of Israeli Communities, we need to make sure that each community in Judea and Samaria has the emergency equipment it needs. Now, we have been doing this now for a few years. This has been one of our priorities, and we have. I just got a few days ago. I got a text from one of the communities that now that everything is so urgently needed, this fellow texted me to say that their rapid response team and their security personnel are so grateful for the level of protection that their community now has, which is making their job protecting the community that much easier. So we still have communities that are missing surveillance cameras, surveillance drones, all kinds of things having to do with fencings and alarm systems that we really have to be sure that these communities have everything they need. There is one community that phoned us. They are located in the Jordan Valley, and they need night vision goggles. Okay, and many of these communities now are in a much more desperate situation because so many of the men between the ages of 18 and 40 have been called up to the reserve. So they're missing personnel, and what can really help with that would be better equipment. And this is something we are dealing with, and we cannot just sit back and panic. We cannot just take out our tissues and wipe the tears. We have to ensure that our families, the families living here in Judea and Samaria, we are 500,000 Jews surrounded by 2 million Palestinian Arabs, which at any moment could come in, learning from their Hamas brothers in Gaza, could say, wow, this is a great idea, run into a community, overrun us, and God forbid, commit the same kind of massacre. The only way that we can avoid and protect our families against this kind of horrific scenario is to make sure they are prepared. And so we now are part of an emergency drive, reaching out to all of our friends. We need your help. Okay, go to our website, CFOIC.com. On the homepage, you will see a notification, Israel Under Attack. Click on that. We are sending out regular updates, and we also have an ability to give, and we will trust you. I can assure you, your funds will be used for those security needs that are most critical today. And I know that if you come forward generously, we will be in a far better state of preparedness than we are today. Thank you very much for caring, for praying, for being involved, for standing with Israel, for waving that Israeli flag. I know that you are doing this, and I want to thank you. If you have any questions, if you'd like to get more information from me, don't hesitate to contact me directly, Sondra, Sondra, at CFOIC.com. I will do my best to answer your questions and to make it easier for you to get involved and to support. Have a wonderful weekend. God bless.